Hello and welcome to the Inbetween podcast. I'm your usual host, Joe Scott, and joined me by Tony Tones at our tea. How are you, Tony?
I'm doing pretty good. We're only slightly late.
Oh yeah, we were at a stag do this weekend, so that's
Yeah.
the reason that the podcast is late this week. Just the classic, me and Tony and the boys, just going
Yeah.
around stomping away. You know what it is.
It
I was
was
like,
going to be Age of Empires with the lads, but didn't happen.
Age of Empires with the lads. I don't think anyone's
Yeah.
ever said that.
Oh, I know someone
Oh,
said
okay,
that.
okay. What's I gonna say? It is what it is. It
Yeah,
is what it
it is.
is.
It is what it is. Yeah, we're we're,
Um,
we're back. We're not. Well, I guess we're
Tony,
not busy for the foreseeable future. I was going to say, but that's not actually true. But
if
not for next month.
everyone's busy right now, Tony, because the
Yep.
huge thing came out yesterday. Absolutely
Oh,
massive. You can't have escaped it. One of the biggest releases of this month, for sure.
yep.
September
Right.
28th. September 28th, guys. The Outer Wilds Echoes of the Eye came out, guys. You can't avoid it, guys. It's out now. Go ahead and play it. It's the game. I've been playing it. It's fucking amazing. Looks really cool. I'm gonna make a tangerine out of it, and I'm gonna say to everyone before the tangerine comes out.
Spoilers.
No, I'm just gonna say don't watch this. Just don't watch it.
Yeah. Super
Um,
spoilers.
the thing is, nobody will. So that's the secret of it. Nobody will be spoiled with my
Nobody will.
video because nobody will watch it. Because there it
I
is.
feel like no. I feel like if you tell people, like, if you put it in the video description or the video title, sorry, like people will accidentally watch it.
No, do not watch this video. I'm gonna write in the title brackets cursed video,
Yeah.
and then people definitely won't watch.
You've had
I called the I called the Among Us imposter at 3 a.m. Put that in the title.
right.
Can I do what?
Can you add hashtags to our videos, or is that something
I
reserved for the big people?
I have no idea, to be honest.
Because I see some videos have it, some don't. I don't understand what's what.
I've never tried to add a hashtag to a video, and I don't know what they do. And at this point, I'm too afraid to ask. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know what they're for.
will it matter?
Who knows? Anyway.
Make it more cursed? I don't know.
I think this podcast is pretty like trailer heavy. There's not like I've been spam refreshing like news and stuff, but there's not really been that much like big news other
they've been
than
waiting for the big
trailers.
game.
Yeah, there is going to be a Tokyo game show soon. It's going to be hosted like in like a VR thing, which is pretty interesting.
Right.
Tokyo Games Show VR. I'm not sure like. Because you can attend it. I might try and play that if I can. You have to download
Don't have a VR headset.
you have to download like a social app with support for people to be in a group if you have friends that also. I don't know. It's Tokyo Game Show. Like, I'm excited for. I guess I'll just show you what I'm talking about because that'll make it a bit more interesting. There's going to be like Konami, obviously, which I don't really care about Konami. I don't care about Square Enix, but like Capcom would actually be pretty cool to go and see their booth. The thing is, they're creating like actual booths that you can walk around in virtual reality,
Oh, that's cool.
which is the really cool thing.
Yeah.
So maybe I will try and attend that and maybe get some footage of that, and I'll show it at the podcast. Me and VR watching trailers, and we'll talk about them. I can't make any promises because I have no idea how to download this app. But yeah,
Will it be recordable?
I guess. Why
Okay.
wouldn't it be?
I don't know.
Well, it starts tomorrow. It starts tomorrow, so we'll see.
Right.
Okay, just interesting little thing I was looking at. Let's go straight into trailers. Tony, when I was posting this trailer on the podcast, I clicked on the video and the video was removed. And
right. You put
so-
it back though, right?
I got another one. So this is Wipeout Rush, and it's a new Wipeout game. So you must be feeling pretty hyped right now. You were literally talking about last podcast how you liked Wipeout games.
Yeah, I was.
And
Oh my god, it's got
finally, Tony, you can play Wipeout Rush, the mobile only Wipeout game with unique card-based racing. I think it literally says that in the trailer. Unique card-based racing, whatever the
Why?
fuck that means.
What?
It looks like one of these shitty gacha games.
Oh no! It's like a match game, like matching like 2, 3, or 4 sort of things.
So I think the original video was deleted because of the negative reception it got, and then they've re-uploaded it again to try and silence the critics.
Why can't they just make a racing game for mobile? Like I feel like some people have phones that can run
Don't you guys have
a racing game.
phones?
I would love to have a racing
Coming
game
to
on my phone.
iOS and Android, but who the fuck is this for, man? Who
Um,
is this for? China?
No, just people with the time to waste.
People with phones. The thing is,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think obviously people wanted another Wipeout game, so the fact that they're
The music
it
and
mobile only
the
is kind
tracks
of
look like
interesting.
Wipeout, but I want a Wipeout game, not a shitty Wipeout game. I want a Wipeout game for the PC. That isn't like from
They're
ages
saying it's a
ago.
full single-player campaign as well as 60 ships in the original games, and then some people are saying in the comments, a Wipeout with no actual race control isn't Wipeout. I still don't know what you
Yeah,
do
I
in this
agree.
game.
I don't know. The only Wipeout I can get for PC apparently, I'm not sure if it's true or not, but it's from 1995. And even then, I don't think I'm actually supposed to be able to play it.
Well, apparently the game runs at 60 FPS on your phone.
Excellent.
What you do in the game, I have no fucking idea, but yeah, it doesn't look particularly interesting, at least to me, so we'll move on from that meme one. V Rising. This one looks really interesting, but then I also I don't know if I trust these guys. I don't know if you've seen this, Tony, because I think you'll be particularly interested in this one. It's a survival crafting vampire game,
Yeah.
I would say.
I'm a big fan of vampires.
There's
not many good vampire games.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
That.
I was going to literally say that. I don't think there is many vampire games,
No.
period. And it has the actual sunlight hurts you mechanic, which I quite like.
Yeah, I like that when it's actually a mechanic to deal with.
So
I would say I have the character on Steam for vampires. It's not that big, and I've owned pretty much all of the Steam games.
The only big vampire games I can think of are probably Vampire: The Masquerade Bloodlines.
Yep.
And Vampire, the game that came out 2019 or something like that.
I do not own that one, so that's still on my. I'm still waiting for a sale on that.
I've heard Vampire's it's okay. It's some people like it, and then other people are it's kind of mediocre.
Either way, even if you think it's mediocre or you like it, I think
it's still one of the best vampire games. Well, okay.
People agree that it's very janky.
Right.
I'll say that.
Fair.
That's not in dispute.
But yeah, there is a gap in the market for people who like vampire shit. Which I'm sure a lot of people do because it's cool.
I think a lot of people like vampire shit, and I
it's
think that's why we watch shit stuff.
What was there's not enough good. I used to always say there's not enough good pirate games, but then Sea of Thieves came out, so
there's still not enough good pirate games. There's still should be more.
Okay, yeah, agree to agree.
I'm still waiting for my vampire pirate game.
Okay, that's the next one. So the reason I say I'm this actually looks really fun. I love the art style. I think the idea, maybe even having RPG mechanics. I'm not sure, but if you build stuff, you go hunting, you can level up and stuff. That would be cool. The only thing I say is it's made by Stunlock Studios. If you don't know Stunlock Studios, they're the people who did Battlerite. I've talked about Battlerite. I think I said it was one of my honorable mentions for a game of the year years ago. But they kind of abandoned it, made a battle royale game that no one wanted, and then they pissed off of that as well. I think they don't have a good track record recently when it comes to sticking with their games. Because I think I liked Battlerite. I know people did like Battlerite. It just didn't have the player base, and so they can make a good game. Stunlock.
Yeah,
people remember the Bloodline Champions, right? Was their first game?
Do they do good? How's the combat in that game? Is it
the combat in Battlerite is fantastic.
Okay.
But that's
I
like,
was gonna say, like, from this trailer, like the combat looked pretty good. I'm just concerned
mm.
about the rest of it.
I mean, if the combat's on tier with like Battle Right, then it'll be fucking
Yeah.
amazing. Like, because the survival crafting stuff looks cool. So
yeah, but you can really fuck up the progression. Like, I feel like if your progression of the game is like kind of like Guild Wars, if progression is shit, but your combat's good, like it's still not enough to keep you playing. So I'm concerned about that.
Okay. Next up, we have Breakwater, aka Moses Simulator.
But
I don't know. It just looks what you'll see
I see
when
what you mean.
you'll see when the character comes on screen. It looks like a interesting physics game. I'm not 100% sure what you do in it, to be honest with you. But it's one of those. It's one of those like smaller indie games. You're just like, that's a really cool idea. I'm gonna see like. If they released a demo of this, I would play it and be like, let's see how like interesting the actual game is itself, past like the interesting mechanics.
It looks like they've put a lot of effort because like flood mechanics.
There's a lot of like there's a lot of like water physics, flood mechanics, that sort of stuff. So
the fact that they got if that works like actually like in the game, but the actual mechanics that itself would be like interesting to play. If anything else. This is good.
Okay, next up we have Sea of Thieves Season 4 trailer. So we just had the Pirate's Life Sea of Thieves. I've played it. I don't think I've talked about it on the podcast. It's really fucking cool. All of the new content they added. It's like super big budget, but it's also super Disney because it feels like you're on a roller coaster. It's like you're like laser focused and you can't really go wrong, I would say. But I think it's sort of like designed in that way because it's like made to be the first Tall Tale now. So it's like the intro Tall Tale, whereas the old Tall Tales are now the Tall Tales that follow on after that sort of thing. It's its own separate story. The Pirates of the Caribbean Tall Tale stuff really freaking cool, and some of the cool stuff was that it added these really interesting underwater battle arenas, and then they were like, hey, this stuff is really cool. Why don't we just add this into the actual game world for players to fight over, sort of thing, outside of like the instance Tall Tale events. So that was a really cool idea. I think they're called Siren Shrines, and there's like 4 of them on the map, and then they'll work in the same way as forts, where there'll be one active, and it'll send out a beam into the sky telling player that the fort is active, and then players will have to defeat waves of enemies similar to the fort on land to get new coral treasures, which will give you new rewards that you can unlock and new cosmetics, which is pretty cool. But yeah,
I did love the colours in this trailer. It is so cool.
You can like store your the coral stuff in a mermaid and then send it up to the surface later.
A mermaid.
Yeah, so you store it in the mermaid in case you get like attacked by.
That weird. Okay, right.
In case you get attacked by other players, you can store it in the mermaid and then come back for it later, sort of thing.
Yeah,
which is pretty interesting. I like how there's a shark in the water trying to eat them. That is pretty accurate to how it goes. But yeah,
is it always a shark?
There's always a shark in there. There's more than sharks in the water since the previous update.
Okay.
There's full on like underwater stuff now. So this is terrifying for my friend Matt, who is terrified of water.
Wrestling, man.
You can now get coral missions in a bottle that will send you to these like sunken shipwreck things that are really freaking cool. The potion of undying breath. I assume this is a way for the player to get unlimited breathing, or you can sell it. There's a few artifacts already in the game. So there's like the skull from the Ashen Forts that lets you set things on fire with it, or you can sell it for money. There's the cursed chests, which are really fucking cool, like the Chest of Sorrows. Basically, there's a lot of like rare treasure in the game that you can sell for a lot of money, but you can also keep to help you in the game. So like,
okay, that's your effects.
Yeah, so like there will be like a skull that shoots fire, right, and that could help you clear forts easier, or you can just sell it straight away to get money. Or there's cursed chests. So there's a chest that keeps crying. It's called the Chest of Sorrows, and the entire time it's on your boat, it's like slowly sinking your boat up with water. But they're really interesting. So usually you want to sell cursed chests, but the really interesting thing I think about cursed chests is you can go and put them on other people's boats when they don't know, and you can start like slowly sinking their boats. I think like it's quite useful against skeleton ships, because skeletons don't know what to do with cursed chests, and they kind of just leave them.
Right.
And then yeah.
But surely, okay, how much if you're carrying it as like a weapon, like surely you have to keep getting rid of the water, I guess. Is that...
Wait, if you're carrying it... Oh, right, you're saying if you're carrying it in your ship. Yeah, you have to like...
Is that manageable if you know what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's like there's even like a curse of... There's a chest of rage that unless you're constantly throwing water on it, it will erupt into flames.
Oh no.
Yeah, that one's pretty good. That was like a newer one.
Maybe combine the two together?
The sorrows and the flame one next to each other.
Well, maybe, yeah, it can cry onto the rage and...
So this was leaked accidentally and then swiftly removed because there was a THQ event coming up, but Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed has been officially announced. They are remastering the second Destroy All Humans games, which I think a lot of people were asking for. They said, one being remastered is cool. I think a lot of people really love 2.
Two is very good. I think I like them both, but I think 2 wins out in terms of like the humor.
We have to see about this one. I think like the first one got good reviews, sort of thing. Like it seemed like it was a good game, so
yeah,
we'll have to see how the second one does. THQ once again, their entire business model, taking old IPs and reviving them.
I'm making lots of money from it.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
And then the other THQ announcement we had was SpongeBob SquarePants: The Cosmic Shake. So I'm not like a huge SpongeBob guy. But I understand that the SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated was a remaster of an old SpongeBob game.
Okay.
From what I understand of the Cosmic Shake, this is a brand new SpongeBob game.
Wait. Did you not making a new game?
A new game based on an old IP from a remaster based from a...
Oh, that's fine. That's
yeah.
Legit. That's fine.
So, well, they've done like... They did like Darksiders 3, right? They made that new game.
That's true. That is true.
But yeah, that's pretty cool. Apparently there's going to be new moves and stuff. So it's going to, add more stuff to the formula. Some new areas to explore in Bikini Bottom.
I find SpongeBob stuff quite weird because I recognize characters, but I don't understand it.
Yeah, I didn't watch too much SpongeBob as a kid. I think I was maybe a bit too old, or I didn't have the satellite TV channel I needed to watch it. So.
Oh, okay. I just watched it on Freeview, so. But I guess I like older repeats that I watched.
Yeah, I have the rehydrated SpongeBob game. I haven't played it yet though. I have the Destroy All Humans remaster as well, which I haven't played yet. But I did play the demo. I think we did a spotlight of it.
Yeah, we did.
Which I thought it was pretty cool from the spotlight. So I'd be interested to see what they do with that one. That Nickelodeon Brawl game's coming out soon as well. Have you seen that? It's like they're making like the Nickelodeon Smash Bros.
Yeah.
I've been.
It was the trailer on the podcast, didn't we?
Or
was it on the E3 show?
They keep doing like dev diaries of like the individual characters, like all of their attacks. I have no interest in buying the game or like playing it or anything, but I keep watching them every time they're posted on Reddit just to see like how the characters control. Like literally today I was watching Nigel Thornberry's moveset for Nickelodeon Brawl. God. And he was like,
I would buy it just for Nigel Thornberry.
It was showing like his heavy move, orangutan punch, and he's like he starts like mimicking animals and stuff.
Oh my god.
It's pretty cool.
I need to see that.
The only thing with like Nick Brawl that some people were like let down by was the fact that it's obviously low budget. It seems like the devs put a lot of like love into the game and they're like genuinely really smart fighting guys. But I think the budget was so small that none of the characters are voiced, which is kind of
right.
interesting. Because I think people are
That is
saying,
interesting.
yeah, because it seems like Nick does a lot of like these, sort of like try and churn out like cheaper versions. Like they did the kart racing game, and then they've done like tons of, like crossovers, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and other games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where they're like kind of dabbing their feet into gaming by just like going, here's a small budget, make a game, and then
Yeah.
they're just like, you know when like movie studios they make like low budget films and they just keep making them until like one's a hit, and that way they don't
Yeah.
take a big loss by spending a bunch of budget. It's sort of like that
Yeah.
strategy sort of thing.
The Bloomhouse sort of or
Blumhouse,
Blumhouse, I don't know how you pronounce it.
the horror stuff, yeah, that they
Yeah,
do.
like you don't put too much money into it, and one of them's gonna be big enough, but it just makes huge amounts of money.
We got a new trailer from Playtonic Friends. This is the Playtonic publishing studio. This one is called Lil Gator Game, and it looks pretty like a nice little sweet game. It's sort of like a Breath of the Wild sort of exploration. Some people are saying like a short hike. I haven't played a short hike, so I can't talk about that. But it's sort of that like cozy games, I would say, the cozy game genre.
Yeah.
Sort of going around exploration.
Peaceful
Sort of game
tutorial
sort of game someone would play on Nintendo Switch, and it is coming out on PC and Nintendo Switch. So
the Steam Deck.
you can play this on the Steam Deck. Yeah, that's for sure.
the new Switch.
But yeah, that one looks really cool. That's coming out 2022. Disney Classic Games. We've got 3 classic Disney games being remastered, especially I think the Aladdin game is like a fan favorite. I know a lot of people like speedrun that game, and there's like big differences between the Sega version or the NES version. I think, and the cool thing is it's allowing you to have the you can have the Sega version or you can have the NES version on the same game, and you can switch between them, sort of thing. Which is pretty cool.
So
like,
get all the content.
Disney's been alright with like remastering their games, like because they did the DuckTales remastering not that long ago, and yeah, it's not like people love these games.
It's almost free money.
It's free real estate, really.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool to see this little collection. Nice to see Disney supporting their old games. Next up we have
comments are turned off. Okay.
It's YouTube Kids. That's default.
Okay.
I don't know if you know that, but if you put something, if you put something on YouTube Kids, comments are off by default. I think this was a thing to stop like kids being commented on by like bad actors. I will say, yeah. Stranded Deep co-op online update. This is a PS4, PS5 trailer, and I was like, oh, Stranded Deep. This is a game I've had free in Epic forever. And me and my friend Vietnam Wave were like, we should play this at some point. Oh, wait, it's single player. We'll wait until this is multiplayer. Well, it is multiplayer now. There's a multiplayer update for it, which is pretty cool to see. Me and my friends are always on the lookout for new co-op survival crafting games. We've just been playing through Green Hell recently. Still trying to finish that one at the moment. Or at least trying to get to a point where I feel like I'm finished with it.
Is it not
that's what happens in a lot of survival crafting games. Is not a lot of them have like actual story endings, sort of thing, like a final boss.
Or they try, or some of them have like not quite good enough progression where like you have to kind of decide like I'm gonna stop now.
Well, it's like I killed the Ender Dragon like a couple of years ago, despite spending thousands of hours in Minecraft.
Yeah.
I built the Cyclops in Subnautica and I played it for tens of hours, and I was like, okay, I'm done now. Like I don't need. I feel like I'm finished with the game. I don't need to go any further, sort of thing. Like
that's fair.
But yeah,
you got all you wanted out of it.
If you're someone like me who always picks up their free game in Epic, here is a co-op survival game you can play with your friends, because they probably picked up this free in Epic at some point. So the co-op mode is coming to PC as well. I did check because it is a PlayStation trailer. Joe's Weird VR Game of the Week. Here we go.
Okay.
Before we get started with this, there was a Deep Rock Galactic got modding support recently. I talked about it in the podcast. I tested it out personally myself. Pretty cool. One of the really cool things, though, is with official modding support, it's possible that the Flat 2 VR team could add full VR support to Deep Rock Galactic with motion controls, etc. Because it's an Unreal Engine 4 game, the one essential piece of VR modding that we need from the developers would be that they need to include the VR plugins in the project, which means that basically they just have to tick a box, and then the game would then, ship with the VR plugins, which the modders could use to basically convert Deep Rock Galactic to a full VR game. We've seen like tons of really great stuff from these VR conversions, like Risk of Rain 2. What's the other one? The one from the Payday devs. What's it called? I always forget the name. Payday devs.
The only game I know from the Payday devs is Payday.
No, because the original Payday devs splintered off from Payday 2.
Right.
I don't know what it's called, but it's like it's like a 4-player co-op game where you're going around like slowly killing creatures or something. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, the point is there's tons of like really great VR mods already that turn to non-VR games into VR games, and it'd be really, really cool to do this.
Yeah, for sure.
But it seems like, at least on this Reddit post, which has got a lot of traction, there's no official response from the Deep Rock Galactic team yet on whether they would be open to ticking the box that would allow people to mod in VR support. So there is like I did see that some official Deep Rock Galactic people did respond to some people on this Reddit, so it seems like they do read the Reddit. But it would be cool to see if they actually implemented this, because it's got a lot of community support right now for this project. And I personally would freaking love to play Deep Rock Galactic in VR. That would be sick.
Yeah, that
with full motion control support, where I can just like swing my pickaxe and like dig stuff.
Yeah,
that would be sick.
Especially like in the I mean, it's kind of like it could be a horror game with like all the potential.
Yeah, the bugs.
Right?
Yeah. We got more footage from the Resident Evil 4 port. We got some gameplay trailer. So what we've learned is it is exclusive to the Quest 2, not just Oculus. So if you've got an Oculus Rift or a Quest 1, you're out of luck, mate. It's exclusive to the Quest 2. It's going to have both full motion movement and teleportation travel, and it's also you will now be able to draw your weapons directly from your belt, sort of thing. So you'll carry your weapons on your belt, and that's how you do them. You will have to reload in real time with like the motion controls, and the attaché case is actually a full 3D VR object. So you will have to actually physically place the items in VR where you want to store them in order to make the space for them, Tetris style, which I think is a really cool addition. Entire puzzles have been redesigned specifically for VR, which is really cool, because I think this isn't done by Capcom. This is done by a different studio. Is it done by who's doing the Resident Evil 4 VR? Let me look it up so I don't talk out my ass. Armature is a third-party development studio that's actually putting this together. The only thing that will still be in 2D is all of the cutscenes for the game will appear in a little 2D like cutscene box. This was done because not only to like save time and stuff like that, but also because in a lot of cutscenes, like Leon's going to be like jumping out of windows and getting thrown about and stuff, and that would be really, really motion sickening for a lot of people. So that's why they've gone this way, which I understand. Like there could be a way to redesign the cutscenes, but obviously that would take a long time, and that would almost be like redesigning the game from scratch if they did a lot of the cutscenes. So this is a good compromise. This is coming out next month, actually. It is coming out on October 21st, so it's about 3 weeks until you lucky Quest 2 people can play this, because I don't know what it is. It's like, oh, here's the 3D attaché case. They showed off, which is pretty cool. Oh, and you physically type on the typewriter to save your game, which is
my god, that's
really cool. Yeah. But yeah, I really wish they would bring like Resident Evil 7 VR from the PlayStation VR to PC, and they would bring the Resident Evil 4 VR to PC, sure. Which I hope to see one day. But yeah, that's my VR stuff. Evil Geniuses 2. We're on to the quick news.
Quick news.
Evil Geniuses 2 is getting a free Portal update. Valve just gives their IP to anyone at this point. They're just like, yeah, fuck it, just take it. Well, they get you get like, there's brand new like companion cubes, Portal traps, Portal like walls and cosmetic stuff, that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's the Portal update is completely free, and then there's also a DLC they're releasing for Evil Geniuses 2 called the Robot Minion DLC. So that will allow you to have robots instead of humans as your minions, which will obviously help you out because they don't have to like eat and sleep. And I think they still take up like sleeping quarter space to help with the balance, but
right.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't played this game, so I'm not 100% how sure it works on like the management side, but it is cool to see like people trying to break into the evil minions base and then like a portal turret just shooting at them.
Yeah, that is the theme alone is cool, but yeah, they're actually like making the mechanics make sense. This is one of the games that I need to actually own. Yeah, right.
It came out recently within the past couple of months.
It wasn't.
So I've seen like I think I saw Sips playing it for a bit. It looked pretty fun. So
it's 40% off right now.
Next up we have Bethesda once again increasing the price of Skyrim in some countries prior to the anniversary edition release. So
you hate to see that.
I don't know if you know this, but just before the special edition came out, Bethesda actually increased the price of the regional pricing of Skyrim in Turkey, Russia, Argentina.
Oh right, no, I didn't know that.
And then, as the anniversary edition's coming out, they're doing it again.
That kind of sucks.
The top comment here is, think I'm going to hold off until the 20th anniversary edition. It's only the 10-year anniversary edition. You want to wait for the 50th anniversary edition of Skyrim.
Yeah.
That's going to be for owners of Skyrim VR at that point in the next 40 years. So yeah, definitely check that one out.
Wait, I'm being told the 15th anniversary at stamp collecting, so I think that is one to wait for.
Mm-hmm. Next up we have The Initiative is partnering with Crystal Dynamics for Perfect Dark. So they are the people who are behind the games such as Tomb Raider. Is it the new games that they're behind? Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Tomb Raider Legend, Tomb Raider Anniversary, Tomb Raider Underworld. So yeah.
Yeah, so that's like the second, like the one before the current Tomb Raider generation.
They do a lot of stuff for Squeenix. They did like Marvel Avengers. Gex. I can't tell if this is correct, but Gex is a meme game. I hope they made Gex. Yeah, they were on the team for Gex. Guys, it's the creators of Gex. Guys, it's in safe hands. Guys, it's in safe hands. Apparently Wizards of the Coast is making a big budget G.I. Joe game. Why? So mega toy brand Hasbro through its games division, Wizard of the Coast opened a video game studio that is led by industry veterans from WB Games and other AAA studios. And according to job description attached to several listings for new roles, the studio just referred to as New Raleigh Durham Studio will be making a G.I. Joe game as its first project. Okay,
Right.
who's this?
Okay.
They're like, guys, we're Hasbro. What do we have the rights to? G.I. Joe. You've got it. Make a game of it. Make a game of it. It's going to be the next big thing. Didn't they just fucking... Didn't, like, Wizards of the Coast just cancel the fucking Magic the Gathering game that was supposed to come out? The ARPG. That didn't even come out of beta before it was cancelled. Because it was so fucking...
Oh! Yeah.
Such a terrible gacha game.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Who knows what's going on there?
Next up, we have... Oh, did you know that there's actually a version of Bioshock on mobile? I don't know if you've seen...
Bioshock 1?
Bioshock 1, yeah. It's called Bioshock
Right.
3D or Bioshock Mobile.
Okay.
I'll pull up... Look up gameplay footage of this. It's really interesting. Like, it's not like... Because right now, Bioshock on the mobile would be like, oh yeah, that's probably a good idea. That could work. But this came out in 2010. So yeah, it's like it's like... I was going to say zero compromises. Not zero compromises. It's the full game, but it's a lot of compromises.
Right.
But yeah, look, it's Bioshock running on a 2010 phone.
Oh my god.
I never knew this existed for like a long time. Like I just thought it was really interesting that there was actually a mobile port of Bioshock. It's like, imagine if someone took Prey and put it into VR and nobody knew about it. Like that would
Yeah,
be that would be crazy. That would be crazy. So yeah. Next up we have the Epic Game Store is coming to the Microsoft Store. Finally, you can now launch third-party app stores from the Windows App Store. So Tony, I can now download Epic from the Windows Store and then use the Epic Store to download itch.io to download my games. That is what you love to see.
What?
Listening to songs on Spotify
Oh
web?
my god.
No, I don't think so. I'm listening to Spotify through Epic Games through the Microsoft Store.
Yeah, my Microsoft account linked to my Epic account.
It's what the people have been asking for years.
Yeah.
For years. And real non-meme news. The Epic Online Services has launched anti-cheat support for Linux, Mac, and the Steam Deck. So easy.
This is actually genuinely like good.
Yeah,
news,
so
guess, right?
Easy Anti-Cheat is fully working through Linux and Mac, Steam Deck, and through Proton. So
does that mean Valve got into contact with Epic, or did Epic do this by themselves, knowing that
don't know.
people would buy the Steam Deck?
Well, they say in the release from Epic, it works with the Steam Deck.
Yeah, that's what makes me think Valve has contacted them, which is weird considering when Epic's launcher first, or the game store first release, they're very, Valve needs to.
Well, I mean, like
that with Steam.
Any game made on Unreal Engine released on. Well, any game. I mean, like it's a small, user base, but they are missing out the user base of anyone who's trying to play those games through Linux and Mac. So they do stand something to gain by allowing it easy anti-cheat.
And more people are about to be playing on Linux, so
that's a point. Sorry, any game released on Steam that's using the Unreal Engine has to pay their license fee. To Unreal. So. I mean, it's sort of symbiotic, but I say at the same time it's kind of a bit surprising, I would say, that this got done so quickly.
That's what I'm surprised about. Before the Steam Deck launch, this got done.
It's like, because the thing is, Epic's usually willing to work with This is like a step towards like, hey, we're willing to work with Steam, and then I think Steam's always been like, yeah, we don't really care what other people are doing.
Yeah, they don't give a shit.
We're just gonna do what we want. If you want to work with us, that's fine. We don't really care.
Steam doesn't see anyone else as competitors. They're just like, we're just gonna do our own thing.
Let's move on to Steam news. Oh, Valve has a new patent for tracking game file read operations and to allow instant play, where you can start a game before it finishes downloading. So the pattern would be make it so that the executable, they would go through the files and they would say, hey, this is what you need to play the start of the game, this is what you need to play the middle of the game, this is what you need to play the end of the game.
Yeah.
Let's download the start of the game, let you play it while you download the rest, which is like... that would be pretty cool if that was available on Steam. A lot of MMOs already do this. I don't know if you've ever experienced this, where they basically...
Guild Wars 2 does this, so it's really shit for Guild Wars 2, but other games do it far better.
You can do it on World of Warcraft. Like, it has, like, when you're down in World of Warcraft, it has, like, playable...
Because like if you're downloading an
recommended,
update, and they update like every single map, like, and you only want to play on one map, there's no point downloading all the assets.
So like
the changed assets.
They'll find out where your character is, and they'll go, let's download that area, and then when you go outside that area, it'll start like streaming the assets online in order to like make up for the files it doesn't have, sort of thing. Is how it's done. Because I think like I think it was like the first Battlefront or Battlefront 2. Battlefront did this where you could kind of walk around like this area where it was like a training area or like a demo sort of area sort of thing where when the game was still downloading. I remember Jim talking about it in a video like ages ago when he was trying to download it. But it's been done in MMOs for a long time. It has been done in other games. Apparently, the Steam beta in 2002 had this feature implemented for their own games. But it was dropped in favor of full downloads as people had terrible internet connections back in 2002. So it was like, well, people aren't going to be able to... Wouldn't this make more sense if you had terrible internet connections, though?
Well, I guess when there's a problem that they'd have to like wait ages if they're downloading. Because my issue with like this in Guild Wars 2 is the way it. I end up having to wait a really long time in the loading screen to get into the map anyway, and I feel like if I just wait for the full download, it'd be quicker overall.
I think it would make more sense if you're able to download the first part of the game fast enough that you could wait for the rest, whereas in the olden days you would put on a game download and go AFK for like a day while it was downloading. So you wouldn't be like sitting there actually playing it because you wouldn't have enough files that you required to play it while it was downloading. That makes sense.
As soon as you start playing it and you then go into an area that needs like you're still wearing the assets, you're still having to wait though.
Anyway, let's move on to delays, cancellations, and announcements before we go into the main news. Oh, no, there's one more. Hang on a second, there's one more Steam news. Steam will let you revert to old game builds despite beta concerns. A feature beloved by modders, speedrunners, achievement hunters, and game historians isn't going away. So there was a recent update to a Steam beta branch where it seemed like they were giving developers the tools to... they were like making it harder for you to revert back to older game builds.
Right.
But Valve has actually responded to the claims that Steam will disable the option to download previous versions of a game. In a statement to PC Gamer, a spokesperson clarifies the company is not planning to disable access to older versions of the software. We are actually not planning to disable downloading old builds. What we are working on is an approach on handling edge cases involving unowned content and helping partners more easily take down builds that they need to be removed for things like copyright issues, the statement reads. We'll have more to share on that when we work through the ship. So I assume that's like taking down builds that accidentally release the entire game, or like I think the Raji for the demo accidentally let you play the entire game, or like... obviously,
you actually bundle all the DLC into the main game or something silly like that.
For example, like the Bioshock remastered. Say, for example, you were playing the original Bioshock game and it had licensed music in it, which it does, they would then need to remove the previous builds that had the licensed music in them because of copyright issues. That's a reason that they might have to take away these builds from being downloadable, which is what they said. But we'll have to keep a close eye on this because this is coming close to like... This is sort of business favoured what they're doing right now, which is not good for consumers. But
I thought they always had like the people. There's already a lot of control that the developer or publisher had over this already. So
it definitely is still possible to download older versions through like Steam database. Like it's not easy unless like because certain games will let you download older versions or beta versions. I know like
because some like Solaris just lets you do really easy, just like backdates like a very old version. But then other games it's like no, we're not gonna. You have to do it manually, or we're not gonna make it easy on you.
Because I know recently with the DLC release from the Outer Wilds, they made it so that there was a big update with it as well. They made it so that you could revert back to the previous build because they said, hey, this is going to break mods, this is going to upset speedrunners, this is going to like... I would hate to be like a modder like a game that gets updated like every 2 weeks.
I wish Bethesda had the same care as people.
Well, it's never a problem with Bethesda because they don't update their games. So.
Oh no, but they did though.
What did they do?
Updating the modded part of Special Edition, breaking mods.
What a couple of pranksters.
Breaking free mods.
That's classic Bethesda. Anyway, let's move on to delays, cancellations, and announcements. So first up we have Deltarune Chapter 2 is released on Steam. So I think Chapter 1 released like online through maybe through itch.io or just like a website. If you don't know, Deltarune is a Toby Fox game. It's basically the parallel story to the very, very popular Undertale series, like RPG style game, which is pretty hype. I want to play Undertale at some point, and I kind of want to play Undertale before I play Deltarune, but I'm not sure if there's like an order to them. I'm not sure if you get more out of them if you play one before the other.
But anyway. Would probably play in the order they came out in, but I don't think it actually matters.
So
that's just my personal preference.
Yeah, so Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 are out. So Chapter 1 was out ages ago, I think for a couple of years now. And now Chapter 2 is out, so they've both been released on Steam as a free download. And basically what Toby Fox has said is there's going to be Chapters 3 and 5 that will be coming out later. But he was like, well, I'll just release Chapter 1 and 2 for free now. But what I'll do is you'll be able to buy Chapters 3 to 5 later on as like a purchase sort of thing. He was saying like Chapter 2 should have sort of been like a purchase thing based on how much effort went into it. But he's like, I just kind of want to get it out and like see what people think of it. And I think this is the best way to do it is release the first 2 chapters for people to try out, and then if they like what they play, then they can pay for the Chapters 3 to 5 sort of thing.
But didn't he make quite a lot of money from Undertale? Like he doesn't need to like support himself too much at this point.
So I think this also released on the Switch as well, like this. Yeah, so you can just download it for free on the Nintendo store as well, which is pretty cool to see.
Right.
Because not everyone can just like go to a random website and download the demo. Some people have like Switches or Xboxes or whatever, and they'll this is a good way to like package it for people where they can easily get to it. Next up we have Dying Light 2 has been delayed again. Shock horror. So Dying Light 2 has been delayed to February 4th, 2022. Don't even ask me when like this was supposed to come out. I feel like it's been delayed several times at this point.
Yeah, I just remember. Yeah, it just seems to always get delayed.
But yeah, Dying Light is a fan favorite among the delays section of the podcast. Battlefield 2042 has been delayed to November 19th, 2021. I believe the beta is coming out in a few days. Like the open beta is coming out in like the 6th or the 7th or something like that.
Right.
So if you want to play the beta, You can play that soon. I believe there's early access if you have EA Play, which is Origin Access, what it used to be called. And if you have Xbox Game Pass, you have EA Play included, which means you get the early access to the Battlefield 2042 beta for free if you have. It's free if you pay for the thing.
It's included with the thing you pay for.
Yeah, it's included.
Included is the
it's free,
the
guys.
word that publishers and businesses hate to use.
It's free real estate, guys.
Yeah.
And then Rocksmith Plus has been delayed into next year. I don't know if anyone was excited for this, but I'm
very excited.
I think we talked about this on the E3 episode. There's a new Rocksmith game coming, and I don't know who it's for, but if that's your thing, there you go.
It's not for us, we'll say that.
Main news, we just have a couple topics. Geforce Now List, I don't know if you've seen about this, but there was basically a Geforce Now List of like a back-end database sort of thing, where people were data mining the Geforce Now service in order to find unannounced games.
Yeah.
And there was like a bunch of games on the list.
Did Detroit Humans 2 Remastered get leaked through this before they announced the trailer?
I don't know. The trailer was definitely leaked on like a website or something, not through GeForce.
Yeah, I saw a few weeks before, like the actual name of it, like was like, oh, they're working on it, or like it's like there's like they found it through this.
I don't know about that, but I know like stuff like God of War on Steam, or like God of War on PC sort of thing was on here. Some like some unannounced Ubisoft stuff was on here. Halo 5 being on PC was on here. But yeah, we've had. So Nvidia responded to the leak of games, saying that the games were speculative and used for internal testing and tracking. Through various projects on that list were reported to be real, if in some cases outdated. Because I believe
because Resident Evil 4 and Halo 5 are all on here as well.
So the Pavel Djunduk, the Steam database guy, I know he was tweeting about this. I was reading it on Twitter because he was posting stuff about the GeForce Now list, and he's actually been sent a DMCA takedown request from Ubisoft. So we have Nvidia saying no. Nothing on this list is definitely coming out, and then we've also got.
To be fair, they don't know like what's definitely coming out. It like probably like some of it might just be like they want to like show like other companies or partners like, oh, like it wouldn't be too difficult to do this. See, like we've done like a little demo for you.
But yeah,
some of these are definitely real.
So I think some of these definitely real, and then some of them I'm like, I feel like. Uncharted 4 was leaked through a PowerPoint presentation.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like I would love to play God of War on PC, the new God of War game. That would be fantastic, but I just don't know. Final
Fantasy 7 for PC, that'd be great.
But yeah, there was a list of all of the leaked data mine stuff on GitHub that's been taken down. The takedown refreshed attention to the Ubisoft titles on the list. These included Project Meteor by Ubisoft Sofia, Project Q by Ubisoft, Project Over by Ubisoft Paris, and Project Orlando by Ubisoft Ivory Tower. I just can't believe that they're actually called Ubisoft Ivory Tower. It just gets me.
Well,
they're the guys who do the. They're the guys. Are they the guys who do the Crew?
I
think they do some sort of they do the Crew. They do like the racing games for Ubisoft. So based on investigative work on Reddit, tips Fedora, Project Orlando appears to be unreleased DLC for the Crew 2. Project Meteor, meanwhile, appears to be new DLC for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So I think we may have some Streisand effect going on here, where Ubisoft taking down this list makes people go, wait a minute, why are you trying to hide this?
Yeah, for sure.
And then we have our final...
delete information.
Final main topic is Nintendo Direct. There was a Nintendo... one more thing. 343 has claimed there is no plans to bring Halo 5 to PC despite their name being on the list. So guys, unfortunately Halo 5 is not confirmed to be coming to the Master Chief Collection. I know it would complete the Master Chief Collection, but apparently, according to 343, it's not coming yet. Wink. Okay, guys. So Nintendo Direct, Tony, if you want to stamp. There was a Nintendo Direct this week. Wasn't like huge announcements. There was a lot of like garbage. So I've picked out some of the interesting stuff I found.
Right.
One of the bigger ones was Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Pretty good.
A new Kirby game on the Switch, and it's like a post-apocalyptic Kirby game. I think this is the first time we've ever seen anything like this from Kirby, and it's coming out spring 2022, and it's really freaking fun. I like Kirby games. I like Nintendo games. I just refuse to pay Nintendo taxes.
Yeah. I was gonna say, one thing I like is I like post-apocalyptic games that actually remember that nature would actually take back and not just.
Like Portal 2.
Yeah, and they don't do a full and just go everything's dead. So I quite like the colourful, deadly nature.
I gotta say, like, obviously this is well optimized for the Switch because it's a Nintendo thing, but the Switch is still looking kind of rough. Like, looking at the anti-alias, like the jagged edges and like the heavy depth of field stuff, and I'm just like, you can only hide, so you need some anti-aliasing in this thing. Like, there's so much like jagged edges and everything. Like,
just zoom out a couple of times, sure, and that'll be the actual size. So
right, it's just like every time I see like a AAA, like when I saw the Doom Eternal DLC on the Switch, I was like, Jesus Christ, this is well optimized, but even this is looking kind of rough. Like, the fact they got it to work in the first place is pretty amazing. And I'm like watching the trailer, I'm like, yep, that's a frame drop. That's a frame drop.
It's like seeing the Outer Worlds on the Switch kind of breaks my heart because like it just looks so bad.
You hate to say it, but you know, Nintendo famously gameplay first, hardware second, and then
I think hardware's fifth on their list. Actually, I think Amiibos is second. Paper cutouts is third, and not understanding they're a company that print.
Sixth, understanding how the internet works and how to do like online services.
Yeah.
But people will keep paying for it, so I don't know.
I don't know.
Because I want to play it, but I don't want to be part of the problem. I keep buying this overpriced stuff, so...
No. You shouldn't buy an extra Switch, just have a save slot. That's dumb.
You need to buy another Switch so you can have another Animal Crossing island. It's just...
Yeah.
Pay another... Get the Skyward Sword remake that still costs $60 after the game came out like 10 years ago, whatever, however
I'm just going to wait 10 years, 15 years and just play the not illegal versions. Definitely not illegal.
We got our first look at Bayonetta 3. This was actually a pretty cool thing they showed off at the Direct. Again, looks really freaking cool from Platinum Games. Bayonetta 3 will be coming 2022. It seems like it's a Switch exclusive for now, so you're going to have to play this on Switch first, because I know there was a PC port of Bayonetta way later down the line.
Yeah.
The first one, because I think, wasn't Bayonetta 2 a Wii U exclusive?
Yeah, because Nintendo paid for the development.
They added it to Switch as well now. So
okay, it's on Switch now.
So you can play it on Switch.
If I want to play Bayonetta, I guess I need to get a Switch.
Yeah, and this one, but it's also
it was on PC.
People were saying, "Hey, I want to play this on Xbox or PlayStation," and basically Hideki Kayama, one of the top guys at Platinum, he was basically saying, "Hey, our publisher's in charge of the platforms it's on, not Platinum. So if you want this on different platforms, talk to them." It seems like Platinum's like, yeah, we did a PC port of Bayonetta. We're cool with putting this on other platforms. So we think that's cool. But ultimately, our publisher decides which platforms this goes on. And if they have an exclusivity deal with one of these guys, then that's the way we have to go, sort of thing.
Yeah, but if Nintendo's paid a lot of money to have it and like kind of funded the development for it, it's kind of understandable.
But yeah,
I mean, from a like natural consumer side of it, that is annoying. Like, I would love to see this on PC. I played a little bit of the first game.
I didn't think Sony was going to release like their games on PC, and that
no, I didn't think that either.
So, in which world do you think that Nintendo would ever release their games natively on PC?
I don't think they'll release their games, but I think they might allow something like Bayonetta to.
I mean, when do you think we'll see the first party Nintendo game on PC?
20 years.
20 years time. Wow.
Yeah.
Put that in your calendars, fellas. But yeah, Bayonetta 2 looking like a snack. There it is, guys. Of course, the big announcement, guys. Chocobo GP, guys. It's what we've all been waiting for. Everyone's been playing Mario Kart going, man, I wish there was a brand new kart racing game.
Look at this.
Guys, it's here. It's Chocobo GP.
I could just hear Donkey saying Chocobo.
This is Final Fantasy, right? Yeah, Final Fantasy, guys. Chocobos are Final Fantasy things. I don't play JRPGs, but I think this is Final Fantasy. There was like a Nickelodeon kart. I was talking about it. There's a Nickelodeon kart racing game on Steam.
Can I just say though, a bit weird that it's not famous characters from Final Fantasy riding their own chocobo. Would that not make more sense? It's kind of like Sonic in a car on a kart. It doesn't make any sense.
Was that Nickelodeon Kart Racer game 1 that came out, and I think that was not on PC? Yeah, that one didn't come to get a PC port, but then they made a second Nickelodeon Kart Racer game, number 2, which did get a PC port, and you can play it on Steam. And it came out like right at the end of 2020, and I'm like, I just completely missed this game.
Right.
But as a fan of kart racing games, it's always great to see more kart racing games in the genre, I guess. I feel like every kart racing game just lives in the shadow of, obviously the best kart racing game, Sonic All-Star Racing Transform, Garfield Kart 2. It's called Garfield Kart Furious Racing. Thank you.
Oh right.
Yeah. I mean, there's some good indie ones. There's like Super Indie Kart. There's like Monster League. But yeah, I think there's a Switch exclusive as well, which is.
I just assume so.
I think most people playing kart racing games are probably playing them on because I think Chocobo Racing this is a sequel to Chocobo Racing on the PlayStation back in like 1999.
Oh my god! Yeah, I vaguely remember that. Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
So yeah, guys.
They didn't ride chocobos in that either, right?
Sorry?
They didn't ride the actual chocobos.
No, I don't think so. I think it was the Chocobos Racing. But yeah, I thought I'd put that one as my meme game that I'm not going to buy a Switch to play. And then finally we have... we're talking about Nintendo not understanding online stuff. So Nintendo Switch Online is now getting a expansion pack. So coming late October, so you can pay extra for your Nintendo Online subscription, and then if you pay more, you then get access to Nintendo 64 and Sega Genesis emulations on your Switch. So you'll get access.
Can you not just buy them?
So you'll get access to like Mario Kart 64, Super Mario 64, so Super Mario 64 is being emulated through Nintendo Switch Online, but you could also get Super Mario 64 in the Super Mario Collection, which was emulated on Nintendo 64 with like upscaled AI like textures for the UI and stuff.
Right.
But that was like I think it was maybe even a physical. It was like a limited release.
Is that? Yeah. I think it was that weird one.
But there's a few. There's Sega stuff releasing. So, Sonic the Hedgehog, Golden Axe, Echo the Dolphin. Interesting to see, like, because I think you can play like Banjo Kazooie and that sort of stuff. And alongside this, they're releasing Nintendo 64 and Sega Mega Drive wireless controllers, which will be available with the USB-C connection. So technically, you could buy the Nintendo 64, the USB-C wireless controller, and then you could plug it into your PC, and this would be cool for speedrunners if they're like emulating Nintendo 64 games and they're used to the Nintendo 64 controller, or masochists who for some reason want to use a Nintendo 64 controller for other reasons.
On other games.
Yeah, I don't know why the hell you would want to use a Nintendo 64 controller for a non-Nintendo 64 game, but
I use it with Mortal Kombat actually.
Well, I had a friend recently who actually bought the Switch Pro controller to use as like a controller for his PC, and basically he wanted to use it for his Switch, and he was like, well, I could also use it for my PC as well, sort of thing.
Right. Okay.
And he was like, it wasn't like the joystick wasn't like a physical joystick sort of thing on the Switch controller. It's hard to explain.
Is it? Wait, is it not one of those weird
I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, the thumbs. I heard the thumbsticks aren't great on the Pro controller, sort of thing.
Yeah. What I've seen of.
Anyway, but yeah, the retro controller stuff is probably the cool part. The fact that you're gonna get like 2 freaking Nintendo 64 games every 3 months or something for like extra money on top of your online subscription is like kind of insane. They've done it this way.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Imagine paying to like play games online. Though.
How much is the expansion pass? I don't actually know how much it costs because I don't even know how much Nintendo Online costs because I shudder to think.
I think it's like.
I don't know if it's been. No, I don't think it's been announced yet.
How much is a normal?
Yeah, they haven't announced how much the expansion pass costs yet. How much is Nintendo Online? It's £3.50 a month for Nintendo Switch Online. Or if you get it for a year, it's £18. Okay, that's not terrible. That's.
Apparently, you can get keys that are slightly less than that if you're on offer, but I think be few and far between.
That's our last piece of interesting thing from the Nintendo Direct. Obviously, I don't have a Switch, so I don't have like much stuff I'm interested in. But I feel like, they did this fucking thing. But I forgot to talk about the Mario Brothers movie. They announced the official cast of the Mario Brothers movie. Oh my god! I didn't write this down at all.
You forgot Jack Black.
I completely forgot this was
Bowser?
I completely forgot this was a real thing.
No, it's fake, I think.
It's fake news, guys.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have Chris Pratt playing Mario, Charlie Day as Luigi, Anna Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach, Jack Black as Bowser, Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. Like, who the hell came up with this freaking casting on these characters?
I think Bowser himself.
Bowser himself, you think?
Yeah, of Nintendo America.
Well, people are saying they should have got the original voice actor for Super Mario to play.
They should go the voice actor for Mario, yeah.
Well, it's an animated film, so the thing is, like,
yeah, exactly.
He doesn't need to look like Mario because obviously Chris Pratt doesn't look like Mario.
That is a good question. Why did they choose people that look like the characters?
I don't know. I can't wait, guys. I'm gonna watch it's gonna be like the Sonic movie. I'm gonna watch the first 15 minutes and then I'm gonna turn it off.
No, it's gonna be great. You're gonna be on the edge of your seat the whole way through.
Oh, that's that. This is the thing I was originally going to. Yeah, watch Donkey's video on it. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course, they were like, "Hey, there's going to be an announcement for the final Super Smash Bros. Fighter, but our announcement today at the Nintendo Direct is there will be an entirely separate Direct just to announce that fighter." And I was just like, "Oh my god, they've got fucking nothing at this Direct." Like, what do they have? What do they have at this Direct? A Kirby game, Chocobo GP, and Bayonetta 3. That's what they had at this Direct. It's
No, the big play was the Mario film.
Oh, yeah, the Mario film, guys. Oh, they're making a Donkey Kong expansion to Mario World at Universal Studios Japan, or whatever the hell it is.
Right. Okay.
Anyway, that's
that was all the big news.
That's the end of the podcast. Here's a Petermology tweet for the end of the podcasters. Wait. Do I normally do the Petermology tweet before I do the outro? Probably.
Yeah.
I've forgotten how to work. We've got Petermology here responding to The Verge. Fortnite Season 8 is all about the cubes, and Petermology has responded with a retweet saying, "Cubes are so 2012." Sort of a reference to the amazing experience that was hidden inside tapping a cube, Tony, as we all remember.
Curiosity?
Yep.
The cube?
Yep. Anyway. You can check us out and everything in between podcast on YouTube, twitch.tv/Scorn if you want to watch live, and at Scorn2000 if you want to follow me on Twitter for some reason. That's the end of the podcast. Goodbye.
Bye.